Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. I hope that you are all good. In today's video we are going to be doing a hidden glitter cuticle fade, so I really hope you all enjoy watching. Now I have already got a tip in my practice hand and applied a thin clear base, so we're jumping into our glitters. Now I'm not 100% sure where this one is from because it doesn't have a label, and the second glitter I'm using is from the Nail Team, but this particular one isn't available anymore as it was a limited edition one around 3 years ago, but I think it's really pretty. The Nail Team have a beautiful selection of glitters available, so I still will leave the link to the website in the description box below. Now the reason I'm using two glitters is because that second glitter I showed you guys is quite chunky, so I want a slightly finer glitter down underneath. Whenever you are working around that cuticle area, you want to keep everything nice and thin, so I don't want to come straight in with a chunky glitter mix and start building up a chunky layer at that cuticle area trying to get full coverage or with a chunky glitter. So that's why I've opted to use this more finer glitter mix first. It's got very similar colors and tones to the chunky glitter mix in it, so it's going to match perfectly. As you can see, I've picked up a small bead of clear acrylic and then I've dipped into that glitter mix and I've placed that down at the cuticle area, and I'm fading it out ever so slightly because we're going to be doing that hidden glitter cuticle fade. Then on top of that finer glitter, I've started picking out pieces from that chunkier glitter mix from the Nail Team. So what I've done with this one is I've just poured some of it out into a little palette, and then I'm picking out certain flowers that I want from that glitter mix. That glitter mix does have quite a few finer flaky pieces in it as well, but I mainly want to use those chunky flowers, especially this cute one that I've left on the surface, so it's the one you're predominantly going to see. And then I'm just picking up some of the little flaky pieces that are in that glitter mix because they look super pretty. I love the iridescent effect that they have, and I'm just nudging them around. And then using my wet brush, I'm just fading it out slightly. We don't want there to be like a harsh line where this glitter ends. And then I'm going to come in and just pop a small bead of a clear acrylic over the top of this just to hold those chunky glitters in place because I didn't actually pick them up with any clear acrylic. And then this is what our nail is looking like so far. I have left everything in this video in real time, by the way, because it just was a short video. Then we're going to move on to our core color. So here I'm using CJP's Obsession. This is a beautiful core color. I do find it more on the sheerer side than a fully opaque color. So that's why I love it for these kind of cuticle glitter fades, because it doesn't cover them up too much. So coming in with that first bead of acrylic, I've placed it down over where that glitter starts fading out, and then I've blended it back gently, and as you can see, you're still able to see the glitter through this, which is really important for any of these glitter fades where you're putting the glitter underneath the acrylic. You don't want a too pigmented glitter that's going to instantly cover it up because it's going to be a lot harder to fade out. Then I'm just gently pulling this colour down towards the tip of the nail, patting and pressing it into place. I don't want to pull all of that acrylic right down to the tip of the nail because this is a core colour. We are able to build up the strength and the structure of the nail with this colour. Then as you can see, because that's obviously not covered the entire nail, we are going to need to come in with another bead of acrylic. So I've picked up a medium-sized bead and I'm pressing this out from side to side, but then I'm going to flip my brush around and blend it back into that previous acrylic, just so that there's no shadowing or marbling where we've switched to a second bead of acrylic. It just keeps everything nice and even. And then again, I'm pushing the sides in and then just slowly patting and pressing this, walking it down towards that tip of the nail. You don't want to work too quickly. You don't want to use too harsh or fast strokes with your brush, as that will pull a lot of the acrylic off. And you don't want to do that because you're wanting to build up the nail. As we get towards the tip of the nail, I have got a little bit of what you could say excess acrylic, so I'm blending some of that back, and then I'm also going to pull a little bit off, and I'm just doing this so that I've got a nice structure to the nail. It's as thick as I want it, but also that everything is nice and smooth and even. There's not too many lumps or bumps, because the more bumpiness and unevenness that your acrylic has, the more filing you're going to have to do to get a nice smooth application or smooth finish. Personally, for me, I would rather faff around with my acrylic and get it as neat as I can with my brush than have to do lots of filing, especially on these practice hands, because personally I don't really like filing on the hand, so I end up having to take the tips out. Now we do need to encapsulate the fade and glitter area, so I'm going to switch here to my Diamond Nail Supplies Clarity acrylic. This is their clear acrylic. Now usually when I'm working with acrylic, I try to stick to the one system, so usually I would use my CJP clear acrylic here. However, last time I was working with it, I accidentally spilled a pot of bright pink acrylic into my clear acrylic powder. So now, rather than being clear acrylic, my CJP acrylic happens to be more of a translucent pink. So to encapsulate here, I've used my Diamond Nail Supplies Clarity, which is actually my favorite clear acrylic anyway. It's beautiful to work with. I do have a discount code for Diamond Nail Supplies, which I will leave in the description box below. But as you can see, I've popped a small bead down and I've just blended it over so that it fully encapsulates that glitter and also builds up enough thickness around that cuticle area. You don't want your cuticle area to be thick and bulky, but you do want to make sure that your glitter has been fully encapsulated, and you also want to make sure you've got enough strength and structure built up in your apex area as well. Now off camera, I filed, buffed and cleaned this nail so that it's ready to come in and top coat. And for my top coat, I'm using this CJP not Time to Shine, it's the CJP No Wipe Tack Free Top Gloss, I believe it's called. It's a brilliant, I think it's a hard gel top coat, but it has a brilliant shine and I do absolutely love it over acrylics. As you can see, I'm just applying a thin coat of this to all of the nail. You will see that I wipe off my brush as it does have a little bit too much product on there, and then I just go over it gently because you do only need a thin coat of this. You don't want to apply your top coat too thick because it's going to make the nail look more bulky than it needs to. And then once that's done, we're going to pop it into cure. So this was a really simple design, but I did have a request recently for some more beginner friendly acrylic designs. So let me know what you thought of this one in the comments below. If you did enjoy the video, please do give it a thumbs up. I hope you're all having a wonderful day. Thank you all so much for watching my channel. And if you're not already subscribed, I would also absolutely love it if you hit that subscription button. Once again, thank you all so much for watching. Lots of love. Take care. Bye bye.